Good afternoon, good evening, rather. Good evening, and welcome to Live It Out Inc. Thursday night segment. This night is going to be a very, very special night. So I want you guys to join in, tune in, come on in, and join us. Don't forget to click like and share with your family, your friends, your co-workers. Make it public on your page because, like we said always, Live It Out Inc. is always trying to uplift the community, give the community resources, encouragement, support, and help. And we want to pass this information along in our community. So please click like, click share the story. Invite your friends in. Tonight is going to be awesome. As you know, we have been celebrating October all month, and tonight is no different. Tonight is a very, very special night. We're doing breast cancer awareness. Remember, ladies, check the tatas. You got to check the tatas. Have your accountability partner. Call each other every month. Sis, hey sis, did you check your breast this weekend, or did you test your breast this week? If you don't know, when you get in the shower, I think it's a couple of days after your cycle, women that are still having cycles, you hold your head over your hand over your head, and you check the breast, and you feel for lumps. So when you're doing this, after you do this, call a friend, call one of your girlfriends, your sister, your cousin, anybody, and say, hey sis, I just did my self breast check. I need you to do it too. Because we want everybody, we want to keep us safe, we want to keep us healthy, and we want to live our best life. So thank you guys for tuning in. Come on in, come on in. Live It Out welcomes you. We have two amazing powerhouse queens to join us today to share in their story. And oh yes, guys, if you know any survivors, if it's anybody that you want to pay tribute to, please type their names in the comment because we want to ring the bell for them, because tonight it's a celebration. We're celebrating all our survivors. We want to let you know that we love you, we support you, we're praying for you, we're praying with you, and we are here as long as you need us to be. So without further ado, we're going to invite our special guest in. And I think I love these women to the bottom of my heart. I thank you guys so much for coming on to share your story with us, to help lift up other people, and we're going to get this thing moving. So again, welcome to Live It Out Inc. Thursday night segment, breast cancer awareness. Miss Linda and Miss Sharon, come on out. Yay! You talking about some real life super women? Oh my God. You talking about some real life super women. It takes courage. It takes hope. It takes being brave and all of that to not just have to deal with the illness or the diagnosis, but to deal with the emotional stress that come behind it, the physical effect that it has on your body, and everything and everybody that's around you that it affects. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about a little bit about your journey. We'll talk about how did you feel when you first got your diagnosis and what was that like. So, Sharon, I'm gonna start with you. So I just want you to share a little bit with everybody about how it was. Oh, let me go. And you ladies, this is to you. Tonight it's a celebration. We toasting to the survivors. We tossing up. We turning up. We ringing the bell. We gonna do this because we love you guys and you gonna live your best life. So get your wine. If Live It Out Inc., ladies, go get your wine, get your bottle of water, whatever you want to drink on. Whatever you want, whatever your poison is, go get it. Don't toss it up for a good reason. Okay, so let's get back into it. So Sharon, just tell us give us a little bit of your story and tell us how was it when you first heard the news.
Okay, when I first heard that I was diagnosed with breast cancer through, um, I had to have several biopsies and everything to confirm breast cancer. because I had a disfigure of my nipple, leakage of my nipple. And that's why, first of all, I encourage women definitely any physical changes in your body. I blame it on my age, you know. So I had a crusty nipple leaking for weeks. I says to change. My mama just walked in and saw it. And so anyway, after biopsies, I was diagnosed with, the breast cancer was confirmed. It's kind of a double story, and I know we don't have all night, but to be honest with you, when I first heard I had breast cancer, I was numb. I was like, okay. But unfortunately, I was out in the world. So when they said breast cancer, I really didn't think about the severity. I didn't think about the journey that I had before me. I didn't even have any questions that. But after the journey started, which was the surgeon, and after the surgery, because I had to have a mastectomy, I had they found a great oncologist, a radiologist, and my journey began. Um, it was pretty fearful. It was more so of me being concerned and for my son, who was about 14 at the time, my mom. I was more concerned about them than my life. You know, um, I just knew I had a journey. I had more prayer warriors praying for me than I was for my own self because I was just numb. I really just didn't know what was ahead of me. I didn't. And so, like I said, through the surgery, through the chemo, through the radiation, then I had 5 years of medicine to take, and just praying that I would make it, just praying that I would be okay. And that's how the journey started. I can detail a little bit more in a minute, but that first diagnosis, the first news of diagnosis, I was just numb and afraid. I
Okay.
was.
Oh
Didn't know
wow.
what was didn't know what was ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So save the rest of it because we're gonna get into some more stuff. Miss Linda, tell us how it was for you.
Well, I'll say mine was totally different from Sharon. And I believe because growing up, I had gone through so much and I got so depressed and stayed in tears. I think through all that I went through growing up, God prepared me for what I was getting ready to go through because in October, I woke up about 3 in the morning and I heard a voice say, check your right breast. And I laid
Mm,
there and I felt on that side and I felt a knot. And normally I would have panicked and cried. I woke Eugene up. I told Eugene, I said, Eugene, I got to make an appointment to go and have a mammogram. I said, I feel a knot on the right side of my breast. And that was it. He said, the next day, he said, I got your appointment scheduled. That was my rock that night. He got up, he got everything set up at the hospital. I didn't have to do nothing. The people at the hospital knew me before I knew them because of him working there. He knew a lot of doctors and nurses. So they got me in. They did the mammogram. They did find the lump. So the next thing I know, they were scheduling me for the surgeon who then told me to get ready and explain what was going to happen. So the day that it actually happened, I had to go in for the surgery. The nurse that worked with him, she came in and she told me her testimony. And she said, you know what? She said, God sent me to you. She said, because of the fact my doctor told me there was two patients. She said that I could either take me or she could either go to the other girl, and she chose me. And she came in and told me her testimony of having a mastectomy. She was from the Philippines. She said that she wanted to be with me through this process. And if I ever needed her to go with me through chemo, radiation, anything I needed, she was there for me. And it began right there, that I had a team of nurses and doctors that walked me through it. I never feared this as much as I feared the other stuff that I went through growing up. I never cried. I never let it bother me. And I talked it out to myself. And through it all, I believed, I said that the cancer may be in me, but the cancer wouldn't have me.
Okay.
And I stayed with that through it all, because I know Michael and them feared, and my daughter, they all was upset because I never told them, because I wasn't sure at first that what it was. And when I did finally find out, my son's best friend's mom had told him, and they told Mike, and he got all upset about it, crying. So I had to tell him, I do not need the negativity. I have to stay positive. If you're not able to stick with me on positivity, I'll see you when it's all over, because I'm going to be all right. And through it all, my journey was complete, I can say, an unbelievable walk. I never had a sick day to deal with after the chemo and everything. But I'm going to stop right there, because I just never feared when I found out about it. It didn't make me go into tears or nothing.
Wow, that is amazing. And I'm glad that y'all stories are totally different. You're on the same journey, but
Yes.
Sharon, yours started a little earlier. Before you got, I know you from the church and you root tree deep in the church and spiritual, but yours got it while you was kind of still out in the street. So the difference that they had on the effect of y'all, because Linda, you was already in the church. You was already spiritually grounded. So it's amazing the different effect that it has on you. And it lets you know that either way, God, it was in God's plan. So either way, he was working it out on both ends for both of y'all. So y'all got me over here about to shout and start all this other stuff. But anyway, talk to me about, how did it make you feel? How did it wear on your emotional well-being? Like, how were you feeling like on the inside? And Linda, you seem to be a pillar of strength, but emotionally, were there times when you felt like, oh, this is overwhelming? Oh, did you kind of feel down, or did you already know, like you were saying, Linda, you was a pillar of strength? So just talk to me about the emotional part a little bit, like just how you was feeling on the inside, the mental state that it played on you.
Well, I only had really it happened before I changed my oncologist. After I got through the surgery, I had to then start the chemo. So the oncologist that I had, I just felt uncomfortable with him because of the fact when I would go back for a follow-up, he never looked at my breast. He never checked me out. He would only draw a diagram showing me what that he knew from the information that was given to him. He would draw me the same diagram every time I went in there on the table. And it just got to the point I just didn't trust him, because once he did that and told me what he had been telling me every time I would go in the office, he would say, okay, I'm going out here and look at your records, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you. But when he would go out the room, he would never come back. The nurse would come in and say, okay, I'm going to set you up an appointment for to come back. I started getting depressed then because I wasn't sure what was going on. I didn't know how I was healing or if I was healing. So I had a girlfriend that told me about her oncologist, and she said, try her. She said, she's very good. So I told the team of doctors that I worked with, because they actually recommended him. And I got to them and told them I was uncomfortable. So they told me to go ahead if I want to try somebody else and do it, set it up an appointment. So I did, and I went that day. I went to one of my church members, Beth Martin, used this same oncologist. And then the day I went in there, they had set me up with somebody else. And the nurse said, "You don't want to go see her. She's new in the field." She said, "Talk to," her name is Dr. Weekland. She said, "Talk to Dr. Weekland. Call back and say you want to be with her." And that day I called back. They rescheduled it. And I went in to see her, and she asked me how many treatments of chemotherapy I had. And I told her I had rung the bell and I had about 6 treatments. And she said, "Well, why 6?" I said, "Well, that's what he gave me." So she said, "Well, I tell you what," she said, "I'm going to set you up for 2 more." So she set me up to do it again. And from then on, I was so happy and at ease because she went through stuff that he never talked to me about. But I was doing good no matter what. And I never really got sick through it all. I had one day with the chemo that I got very tired, and I was sitting on the sofa and something said, "No, get up, go do something." And I got up and moved about. And that was the only time, during the time trying to rechange doctors and then feeling tired that one time.
Yeah.
But my chemo walk was very easy, and the radiation, I was blessed. I
Okay.
truly know God was with me through it all.
Yes, he is a healer. Sharon, tell us, how did it wear on you emotionally going through your journey?
I got. I first of all, you know what? I'm listening to Linda, and like you said, our stories are totally different from the beginning. Won't. But you know, you're talking about favor. See, when I said I was out in the world, but the thing about it is, I had favor on me. And I'm going to tell you why. When I was first diagnosed, and then my son was told by one of my primary physicians, because I didn't want to tell my son. Do you know my son said, "Mama, I want to go to band practice." I said, "Man, did you hear the doctor said mom got 3rd-stage breast cancer?" He said, "It's in God's hand. Now I need to go to band practice." So I'm like, golly, look at God. My surgeon was excellent. My team of oncologist was excellent. My radiologist in that department was excellent. I was just, that's why I said I had favor from the very beginning of my journey. So as far as once I started my journey with the treatments, I was calmed. My fears were calmed because, like I said, my oncologist, Dr. Lloyd Geddes, when he first met me, and I share it all the time, he said, "Your spiritual life is what's most important. That's the first thing, your spiritual life, Miss Wright." I said, "Okay, well, I'm good with that one." He said, "And your eating and your support, your family support system." So favor meant I had it all going on, you know. And so it calmed me. So with the surgery, I was taken care of by a great doctor, surgeon. My oncologist was wonderful. The 2 doctors, when I started my chemo, I mean, I went through what, about 4 weeks, 5 days a week treatments. You
Wow.
imagine my mom driving me down to Boulevard every day, 5 days a week. No, I'm sorry, that was chemo. No, that was once a week for maybe 8, maybe 12 weeks or so for chemo. I was never nauseous. I
Wow.
thank the Lord. And my commenting thing about it is, you know, God knew I love to eat, but my friends and family would have these different mints and sprays, and that was important to put in the atmosphere to help keep the nauseous down. People don't know that peppermint fragrance, lavender fragrances, put it in the air. It helps with nauseousness during your chemo. When
Oh,
I
wow.
started my radiation, yes, that's something that one of my friends, and we're still friends to this day, you know, brought me the peppermint spray, the lavender spray, and you put it in the atmosphere, and it calms your
Here comes
nauseousness.
the nauseous.
And radiation, it calmed it down. But you know, radiation, I received third-degree burns.
Oh
So
wow.
my mom, here go again, had to treat me, take care of me. They got my radiation for 2 weeks because I had third radiation. Was able to radiation.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm a two-time breast cancer survivor. When it came back 2 years ago, that's when I had that terrible experience with a new oncologist. And
Okay.
it was just like, and and as one of the doctors Linda knew, and then she referred me to the doctor she went to, and that's who I'm up under now.
Oh
A
wow.
wonderful doctor. But when it came back the second time, the doctor would just I would visit the doctor and I had, do my visits and everything. And then it found out I had a nausea in my neck. And he sent me to get CT scans and MRI. He says a twisted artery. I said, okay, all right. Then it started paining me. He sent me to a vascular doctor. I'm getting thinners. Then it was still going, dissipating down. I'm still having pain. I went back to my oncologist. He said, well, I'm going to see what I need to do. This is unfamiliar to me. Do you know, basically, he would leave out and come back. Well, Miss Wright, I'm going to make another appointment. So anyway, that was a very emotional thing that I'm like in the hands of a doctor and I don't feel good. My guts is not sitting well with my oncologist, this new
Oh
oncologist who I've been under his care for 5 years. So I finally talked to Linda about my guts. I'm just opened up one Sunday and I shared it with Linda. I said, I got this oncologist, I got this problem. This is my life. I don't know really what's going on. They did biopsies of my throat. They didn't send me to an ENT. They didn't send me to a head, neck, cancer center. They still don't know what's what. And that's when Linda referred me to the doctor that she's under. And so the same surgeon 14 years ago that did my mastectomy is the exact same surgeon that I came across to do the surgery to remove 4 centimeters of cancer from my neck.
wow. That
So,
is
Lily,
that is
the
truly a
first
journey.
time was good. I just had, yes, yes.
That is truly a
So,
journey. You are really a true soldier, Miss Sharon. So next thing I want you guys to share with our panel is how important was your support system to you? Like what difference did it make to have that support? So we'll start with you, Linda, and then you can come in, Sharon.
I think the support
okay,
system means a whole lot because I have to give Eugene all the credit because of the fact, not all the credit, because it's God who
Yeah,
put
we
him,
know.
to do it. But I have to give him a shout out because that team, the team he put me with, and they didn't know me and I didn't know them, but when I got there, they act like we had been friends for years and years, and they still today, no matter where he is, make sure that I'm being taken care of. They follow up with him, make sure, especially with the COVID, that I'm doing the right thing and not, they may say, make sure she don't go around people and taking care of herself. So I had a great support team. And then when Michael finally understood that I wasn't trying to keep it from him, I just wanted to be sure that, I knew what was going on, but I
Mhm.
needed him to be strong and not let it bother him. I said, because I'm not going nowhere. And I think it scared him because we never had to deal with breast cancer in our family.
Yeah.
Nobody went through the breast cancer. I did have a cousin that lost her life, but hers was esophageal cancer. And it was just a different way for me. I didn't want to feel depressed because I knew what depression was, and I knew God had took me through. I had went through a lot feeling, because my faith life wasn't really where it needed to have been back in the days. I didn't have a real prayer life. But then after I joined the church and started dealing with faith and really learning what faith was, I think I realized what I went through then was preparing me for what I had to go through now.
Wow.
And that walk with cancer was the walk that God had prepared me for. When I cried plenty of nights and had that one question, why me, Lord, all the time? And I finally said, okay, Lord, I know why me, because in October of 2017, that was the answer to the why me. You will take this cancer walk and you will not let that defeat you. And it never did. And I just give thanks to the doctors, the nurses, everybody that's my church family, because half of them say, I didn't know you were going through.
Yeah.
You even had cancer. I said that was the point. I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me, because I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. The only thing I realized that my hair started to come out, and my classmate who used to do my hair, he told his manager, he said, go ahead and cut her hair. She wants it cut. She took me and she cut my hair, and she said, I said, how much I owe you? She said, nothing. From one cancer survivor to another. She did my hair for free. The hair loss was the only thing that I experienced. And today I will never go back to letting my hair grow, because I love the short haircut. So I mean, I cannot complain all about my cancer walk. I don't have anything negative to say, because it wasn't hard for me, but I know it is a different journey for others. And I pray for those that have to go through some of the things that I've heard. But I'm not bragging on it, but I know God was just with me at this point in my life when I really needed him to show me that I was stronger than what I thought I was.
That's right.
My weakness is what made me strong for this walk.
All right, that is awesome. Amen. Don't y'all turn this into Tesla Thursdays. First lady gonna get us. Then Sharon, how important was it for you to have that support system?
Very, very, very important. And I was so grateful to have a wonderful support system. And Janice, like I said, my first time around, Lord knows I needed a support system. I needed prayer warriors. I needed my family. Because like I said, I was not in that state of mind to really pray for myself and understand the severity. You know, I just went through it. You know, it was the prayers of others. And like I said, my family, my church members, Miss Ann Houston, who was a breast cancer survivor, who went on to be with the Lord. It was very, very important for a support system. You know, that's what really got me through. But I don't want to jump ahead, but you know, that second time around, when I was diagnosed 2 years ago, see, I had got real close to God. I had formed this great relationship with God. So when I was diagnosed, I didn't ask God why. You know, I didn't ask him why. I just began to call on him because, see, I had got laxy daisy, as I call it. I had got laxy daisy. You know, when you're on that journey and you praising the Lord and going to church and reading your Bible, you kind of get laxy daisy. But when they said cancel that second time around, I was able to pray for myself as well as others prayed for me. And I called on God, and I started getting into them scriptures, you know, and I was bold to stand before God and say, Lord, you said through Jesus' stripes I'm healed. You know, I began to be bold and say, God, you said if I just have the faith of a mustard seed, I would make it through it. You know, that first time around, I didn't have the sense enough to use these prayers. Yeah. Then I said, Lord, you said, blessed those that see about the needy not just the poor. But you said if I just, bless those that see about others, you would take care of me. You said you would preserve me. You said you would keep me. I said, Lord, I'm like the woman with the issue of blood. By my faith, I'm gonna be made whole. So I started standing on the word of God. But I still had my family, my church family supporting me, praying for me, encouraging me, So yes. And whoo,
That's okay.
you
That's okay.
know,
Because he won't he do it.
it,
That's okay.
yes, he will. Yes, he will. And see, I really was praying because my grandmother passed of ovarian cancer when I was 11. My dad passed of leukemia when I was 30 something. I was diagnosed in my 40s. Then my aunt had passed with lung cancer 15 years before I was diagnosed. Then my niece was diagnosed with lymphoma. All this cancer was just coming through the family. So I was praying again, breaking generational curses.
Okay. Come on now.
Linda, when you said you didn't lose, you got your hair cut. But the first time around, mine just fell out, and I just got my hand and pulled it on out. And they said, "You want to wear a wig?" I said, "Ma'am, I'm not wearing no wig." I was
Mhm.
proud to be bald, but that's the only thing I lost was my hair. I didn't lose my joy, I didn't lose my spirit, and I didn't lose my appetite.
Okay. I got
You
you about
know,
to ring
but
this bell over
family,
here.
as you asked me, family is important.
Oh, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. But look, let's talk about some of the treatment. Like the treatment. Was it just the chemo? Uh, just the chemo and the radiation? Or did you guys have to have other medication? And also, we want to talk about. Look, y'all got tears of joy, but these are tears of joy, y'all. Don't get it twisted. I'm celebrating. We celebrating. I'm with you. So also men, talk to the men in your life because men can get breast cancer as well. So we definitely want to look out for the brothers. They don't.
Yes,
They don't. They won't do it, especially our African
yes,
American men. They don't really think about stuff like that. But men can be diagnosed with breast cancer. So let's educate our brothers on that as well. But let's talk about some of the treatment while I get my emotions together. So go ahead, Miss Linda.
Well, mine after the chemo, I had like 8 weeks. I would go in and they would do it in the office, put the IV. You may not really believe this, but it is hard for me to even really tell you what I went through as far as the chemo because I don't even kind of remember it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about it. I know I went through it. I went home after and I had this patch that would I have to wear and it would release whatever it was. I'm telling you, it's hard to explain, but it never made me sick. I never really lost my appetite because I was never really a big eater. So it didn't really bother me, but I was just happy I didn't lose my taste for coffee. Now, as long as I had that coffee with that chemo, I was good. I could make anything work then, but
Okay.
I didn't have any problems with the chemo. I had one day I went in and I had I guess she was having a bad day. She tried to put the IV in and she kind of started my arm to bleeding and then Eugene want to go off on the nurse and I'm telling him to shut up, and we had a bad day and then she say, well, if you want somebody else, I'll get somebody else to come and try to get your vein, put it in. And so she finally calmed down and came back and apologized. And that was the only bad day I ever had with going in for chemo. But other than that, everything, I never really had any problems with the chemo nor the radiation. I
Okay.
did the breast did get burned, it turned dark. But during that time, she told me it would come back, the coloring would come back. It would, just keep it with vitamin E or some kind of cream to make it lighten back up. And it has, the coloring has come back. So, but everything went perfect. Like I said, I had a perfect team. Nothing I could say bad about them. They treated me just like family. So,
Okay. Awesome. What about what about your treatment, Miss Sharon? How's your treatment? And are you still being treated now?
Yes, but I'm on a hormonal tablet pill. I don't know whether to start from that or start from my first treatment because, like I said, if I'm dual. I'm two-time breast cancer. Um, and I share with people when I was diagnosed the second time, metastasis, which means it's moved from the breast cancer moved to another area. But
Oh,
the type of cancer that came back, it's a rarity. Only 3% of breast cancer patients, when they come back, is diagnosed with this type of cancer. And like
oh,
I said, I told the doctor I like being in a rare number, 3% for this type of cancer that came back. But my first treatment, when I was diagnosed 14 years ago, as I say, my oncologist, Lloyd Geddes, he and his team, they were excellent. Erythromycin, and it was like 5 different chemo meds together that I received. But I had a port, so I didn't have to get, they would put the needle in my port. And that's how I would receive my chemo. That port was surgically placed in my chest. So every time I went for chemo, I would just receive my chemo and it'd be about 2 hours. And I thank the Lord. I don't want to keep saying it, but I thank the Lord, patience being there because, that's just curtain dividing us when we receiving chemo. But I'm talking about I would go to chemo every week with a lunch bag. And
mm,
all the other patients be sick and nauseous and everything. And I'm like, I'm eating my food, my mama food, and the nurse will come and take care of me. And but my 2 hours of chemo was okay. I mean, and out of those treatments, maybe twice I felt a little nauseous, but my taste, my smell, none of that went away. As I said, the radiation burnt me. But um, that second time around, after they sent me this second time when they diagnosed me, do you know I went through about 3 oncologists, 4 teams of doctors. I went from Stockbridge to North Side to Emory. I went back to Emory. I went to Wellstar. I was in Noonan. I went to maybe 8 or 10 different doctors and stuff before I ended up going back to the doctor Linda had referred me to at Emory, Northside, and they couldn't do surgery anymore. They couldn't do any surgery because after removing 4 centimeters a mass from my neck, they couldn't go any further. They wanted to do radiation, but they could not because they couldn't find my medical records. So when
oh,
it ended up, I have hormone therapy pill that I would be on indefinite. But that's it. That's what it is. And Miss Janice, you're talking about men. My uncle, also on my dad's side, he died past the breast cancer. My
oh,
uncle
wow.
passed the breast cancer when I was. So when you mentioned that, I jotted it down. Men, yes. If it's a family history of breast cancer, you know, and men have to be checked too. Yes,
Yeah,
you're not exempt. Men are not exempt. You know.
most definitely. Before we start to ring the bell for our survivors, Duck, I hope you wrote those names down. Let's leave some encouraging words for somebody that's going through this journey. What encouraging words would you say to somebody that's going through this journey right now? Like from day one. Linda, we'll start with you and then Sharon, you can go.
I just tell them to keep the faith, trust in God's plan for your life, believe that
Mm,
you will get through it.
mm,
It's not an easy journey, but I had to learn to just say to myself, like I said, every day, and I made it a point to say it, the cancer was in me, but the cancer didn't have me. And I believe that, and I walked through it, and I trusted God through it all. And just do not let the negativity come into your life. That will take you down so quickly, with people being around you and just being negative about it. You stay positive, you stay happy and keep looking up to God for where your strength comes from, because people don't know what you're going through. They'll never understand it, but if you let God walk with you, you'll be all right.
Wow, powerful words. Powerful words. Thank you for that, Miss Linda. All right, Miss Sharon.
I say to those that are beginning that journey or on that journey, believe your healing. Believe your healing to receive your healing. Next of all, it is important to be under a support system, be with those, talk to those that have been on that journey before. You need to talk to somebody that know something about what you're going through, that can share some things with you, because every walk, every journey is going to be different.
Yes.
But when you share with those that have been through, they can truly help you understand. They can give you places, even down to where you get your mastectomy bronze, where you go for financial assistance, nutrition. So, but my main thing is you got to believe your healing. You got to see your healing in order to receive that healing. And just know that it's a journey, and it's your journey. And if you have your shoes on to walk in faith, you're going to make it. And it's not easy. And every day it may be something different, challenging, but it's rewarding when you make it. And that doctor said no more treatment. And you leave out of that office dancing, and everybody's treatment is not the same.
Yes.
Amen.
Powerful words. You guys have really dropped some jewels for our listeners, our panel. I love you guys so much. I see your light shining. Y'all lights just shining through. Y'all have blessed me. You have definitely blessed me. So I hope that we
Thank you.
touched somebody out there. I hope that we gave some information in our community that we shared, as far as treatment, as far as your support system, as far as getting the right team of doctors, getting the right oncologists, knowing who to go to, even knowing somebody that you can lean on that can direct you into the right way to get your treatment. Please, women, if you have done your mammogram, drop a heart or drop a I have in there. So we just want to share. We're going to celebrate. So our first celebration is definitely going to go to you two guys. So, so Miss Linda Driver, we ring the bell for you. You keep living your best life. Miss Sharon Wright, we ring the bell for you. And let me just share. I got this idea from you. You used to do it at church. So I stole your idea, Miss Sharon. So if you
Oh
know
Lord,
somebody that's
oh Lord.
Kim Turner. Kim Turner, we ring the bell for you, Miss Kim. Calvin Brown, we ring the bell for you. Another survivor. Angela Pitts, we ring the bell for you. I don't know if Regina dropped that or not. Doug, did you see any other names? Now, if there are any survivors out there, anybody you want us to ring the bell for, just drop their name in the comment section right quick.
Jackie Payne.
Jackie Payne, we ring the bell for you.
Selma Wilson.
Selma Wilson, we ring the bell for you. And wait a minute, I'm gonna stop and drink to some of y'all. I'm gonna have a drink to the survivors. Hold on, y'all. It's a celebration of life. It is a celebration of life. To all our survivors, keep your faith, trust God, believe in your healing. Believe that you can be healed. Get you a team. Get you a support team. Tanja Dabney, we ring the bell for you. Another one of my sisters, Tanya, we love you. Kim, we love you. Rhonda Cheatham, we ring the bell for you. Celebrate life, ladies. Celebrate life. You deserve it. God kept you here for a reason. You got a story to tell. You got to be somebody's light, somebody's support system, somebody's shining star. He has blessed you through this journey. You still writing your chapter. It is not over. It is not over. Jackie
Amen.
Huntley, we ring the bell for you. Yes, yes. Tanya, they blowing you up, Tanya. We celebrate you. Tanja Dabney, they celebrate. That's the outreach choir blowing up Tanja. And to all our survivors. Just know we love you guys. And I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. You guys were awesome. 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 Powerful words. I done cried. I have cried, laughed, and tears of joy. You have really inspired me. You make the epitome of a black woman, a strong black woman. You wear it well. Both of y'all wear it very well. Continue to be a light to these people out here, to our community. Ladies, again, go check your breasts. Let your man, your husband, your brothers, your cousins, uncles, anybody, let them know that breast cancer is real. Cancer is a disease, whether it's breast cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer, whatever. It's take a toll on your body and it can be fatal. So we got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves physically and mentally.
Early detection saves lives.
Early detection saves lives. So if we have those preventive health checks, the earlier we find out, the better chance you have in getting in that fight and tackling this thing on hand and being a survivor.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you guys.
Because he let me
Absolutely.
see 70 years old this year. I turned 70 in September. So
Wait a minute. I'll drink that, Miss Linda. Let me drink for you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, 70 years old. And yes, you guys wear it well. All of you, y'all look good. You ladies look beautiful. You queens are beautiful. And I just want to thank you from Live It Out Inc. Thank you all. Thank you both. I love you. Oh, I can't wait to see you guys. I just want to hug on y'all. I just want to hug on y'all so bad.
thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so y'all throw the L's up for Live It Out Inc. Thank you guys so much.
We love y'all.
Live your best life. It ain't over till God says, oh, live your best life. Live, laugh, love, and have some fun. And
Amen.
They say you don't look 70. They say you don't look 70.
No, you don't. No, you don't, Miss Linda. You don't look like what you been through.
Give it out to God.
It has been such a joy with you ladies. Oh my God, this has been so awesome. I really love you guys for this. So I'm not gonna hold you because I want you guys to watch the debate. And that's all I'm saying. Not gonna even go there because we celebrating. We are celebrating life. Okay, Miss Sharon, I'm gonna drink with you. Hold on, don't leave.
Well, I gotta go make mine, so I'll drink it downstairs.
Right, ladies, love you and thank you.
Well, brew your coffee, baby.
Yeah, drink
I'm going to do it. All right.
We're gonna handle this for you.
Okay, do it.
Bye, ladies.
Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank